Hello and welcome to this video from Computing with me, Stuart Sumner. Some organisations have set up departments to help clients understand which new technologies could help them to address their business needs. PA Consulting set up its Innovation Unit in 2004, in its words, to bring thinking to life through technology prototypes and demonstrations. I met with Robin Gear, manager of the Innovation Unit and corporate futurist at PA Consulting. He showed me several new technologies around unified communications and augmented reality.
Okay, I'm going to start by just showing you a demonstrator called Team Presence. It was something that we created just as a little proof of concept to show how people working at home or remotely from the office might be able to continue to interact with each other and share in the so-called water cooler moments that happen when you're just able to move freely around a space. So it's just really a combination of video conferencing and a little bit of social networking and a virtual world. Okay, so you'll see me on the camera feed there in the middle, and there's my colleague Dom next to me. I've just come into the office. Dom's just moved away. Essentially what we have here is just a floor plan layout of an imagined office, and I can just get my camera feed and drag it around. So there's other people working in the office, and as I approach them, I can see their camera feed. You'll also hear that the nearer you get to somebody, our microphone volumes are adjusted, so as we can start to hear each other's conversation, adjusted in terms of our proximity. So here we are with a bunch of people having a bit of dialogue over here. If you want to go away and do some more private working, you can just drag yourself into one of these meeting rooms, and you can make yourself private by going into a meeting room, or you can just click on the padlock arrow, which you have here at the bottom of your feed. You're also able to search for colleagues. If I was to type in the names of one of these other people in the office, you get a little arrow that would appear and guide you to where they were. So it's really just to allow you to maintain a level of social interaction during the day. You could have this just running in the background. This is actually running slowly today because we've got it running on a laptop, when normally you'd want this on a server because it's handling lots of video streams simultaneously. Okay, we're going to look at a few examples of some augmented reality applications now. These are really just proofs of concept. Augmented reality is essentially overlaying digital information onto a view of the real world, whether that's seen through goggles in the case of some sort of high-end specialist niche applications, some sort of a head-up display, for example, as you might see on an aircraft, or much more commonly at the moment in the consumer realm through a camera. So our first example is going to show how augmented reality can potentially be used for applications such as gaming, marketing or education. What I've got on the table in front of me is just a marker, and I'm going to bring my webcam over that marker, and there we have a dinosaur, and his appearance has just been triggered by something on that marker. See if we can get him back. There he is, and you can pick him up and move him around. This sort of thing, very useful for marketing purposes. People have been looking at putting this sort of thing on the back of cereal packets, often in catalogues. So as you can see, a product brought to life in front of you in 3D straight off the page. Perhaps to give a better example of how this might be used in education, I'm actually going to pop this different marker down here. This is actually a picture of a dinosaur skeleton. We've got a small dinosaur moving about on that now, so you can see the potential educational application of this. So you can look at this skeleton here and have superimposed some footage of what the actual living creature would have looked like. Okay, and in this case I've got a nice picture of some water here, and when that's picked up, we've got the nice yacht superimposed over that, and you can see somebody is shuffling through some pictures of the yacht in action at the back. Now this 3D imagery is being triggered purely by recognising this picture. There's not a chip in the paper or anything. It's just something that comes out of your printer, and it's purely that image. a lot of these things you might actually want to use a more well-defined marker like a QR code, something, those the codes that look like a crossword grid, because you can lock onto those slightly easier. But certainly, if you're doing something off a magazine, then you really want to be able to trigger this stuff directly from pictures, as in this case. It's not, in fact, augmented reality goggles that are bringing this technology to the mass market. It's actually through the use of cameras on mobile phones. So what we're looking at now is the view through the augmented reality browser application Layer, which is running on my iPhone 3GS. Now, the way that this works is you can select from a number of different filters, a filter being a layer of information that you can have overlaid on top of your camera view. What we have here is points of interest around PA's offices in Victoria. So as you move around, you can just see these blobs floating about in space. This image doesn't work particularly well sat here in this room. This is much more meaningful when you're actually out in the street, and these landmarks. You can use this to navigate your way to these landmarks, and also you can use it to call up information about particular landmarks. So at the moment, this is telling me that I'm about 2 kilometres away from Imperial College, London, and I could potentially click on one of these and call up further information about that particular landmark. There are all sorts of different layers available. People are creating more all the time. For example, if you wanted to concentrate purely on having Irish pubs in London on your camera view to help you navigate to your nearest Irish pub, then that's certainly a layer that's available. And there are increasingly layers to suit every type of interest. Okay, what we're looking at now is a prototype of an augmented reality application that we built to illustrate how this sort of stuff might be deployed in the utilities field. This is a little demonstrator called the Augmented Reality Asset Management System. So what we're looking at the moment is a conceptual view of a road. Just drawn a little road map out. Now, if we move over to the screen and I bring up my camera, shine it at that, then we'll start to see some buildings appearing on that. Now, to the left of the screen, we have a little mini database application here where you can enter your asset details, the name, ID, type of asset, things like that. And now if I can click on some filters here, if we want to see the gas infrastructure beneath this road, I'll click on that. And there we can see the yellow pipes that have appeared on there, showing where the gas is being run. Similarly, adding in the electricity, and then the water, the sewage, and finally the telecoms infrastructure. And you can see now that we've built up on this map quite a complicated view of how these various bits of underground infrastructure relate to each other in terms of position. So this sort of application would be very, very useful for planning of infrastructure work, and also potentially for field engineers to go out and know where to dig. Now, at the moment, this is being triggered by this marker here on the map, which I'm just pointing to that there now. But in the future, we'd expect to see these sorts of applications triggered by GPS directly. So you're standing at a particular coordinate, and the view is created to show the appropriate digital markups for where you're standing. At the moment, today's GPS systems haven't got a high enough resolution to achieve this, but we do anticipate with future improvements in GPS, and in particular when the Galileo satellite constellation is finally rolled out, it will give a greater resolution, and that will be good enough for carrying out applications for tagging assets to quite a fine resolution, like this demonstrator shows. Finally, if I just remove the surface view map, we've actually got a second map underneath which actually has the infrastructure on it, and this is really just to illustrate that the infrastructure that we're showing here does actually line up with what's on the map. So you'll see this stuff is precisely overlaid over where it belongs on the map.
PA Consulting believes that these technologies can provide real business value today, from remote employee communications through marketing and education to new functionality for utilities companies. And sometimes we all just need to play around with a 3D dinosaur. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.